Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Back with another one, back with another one. Sunday Madness. Sunday Madness. What is it? Sunday Madness 16. Back with another one, back with another one. We're gonna talk about, is trauma bonding a religion? Should be interesting. Let me get set up. We're gonna deal with this accordingly. Let me select my little madness series, and I'll be right with y'all. Y'all, give me a second. Give me a second. Is it a religion? Is it a religion? The reason I did this topic, I had thoughts of it yesterday when I live streamed. I was so tired of the non-select. I was tired of the select, non-select topics that I've heard last year. It's the same old shit last year that I've heard in recent years. I've heard this a lot in black spaces and things like that, talking about relationships and shit. One thing I've noticed, most people talk about them religiously in the trauma bond. I'll address the comment that Shannon Bede made in a screenshot. I kind of agree to it, and then I kind of disagree at the same time, because this has been going on for decades. We should move on from topics like that. And I think Ty City said this last year. You should move on for shit like that, because that shit's over, man. You can't do that shit anymore. I know people think it's popular, but you got to address the opposite sex on the panel. Not by arguing, but have that conversation. But I know it's a dead end and most people don't care. But trauma bonding is a religion. To me, I'm going to say yes, it is, because you got some of these so called fake red pill churches. Well, actually, red pill churches I can't stand, because it's not conducive. If you're really red pill, you ain't supposed to be online like that. You're supposed to move different out here. Ain't got nothing to do with no relationship. That's false. That's PUA bullshit doctrine. I'm going to debunk everything that what certain individuals say. I think a lot of times people get caught up into the idol worship. That's why I say it's like a religion. I ask that question: is it like a religion? Because that's what it seems like to me. It's the same old shit that I've heard last year and years ago. It's a repeat of what we're saying in history. I know a lot of people don't care, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. I don't give a fuck who does not like it, but I gotta say it. It goes back to what I said on the Thursday Thrills 18, when I was talking about red pill talking points, gender politics, and all that shit. And the key thing I cannot stand is propaganda prophecy trolls by these PUA guys. It's so fucking annoying. And I'll show you the screenshot when it gets to the 40-minute mark. And it is what it is. Yeah, the reason I did it, it was on my mind, and I'm glad I did this. And I did this Saturday and explained the rest why I felt the way I do. Most times when you do streams like these, a lot of people don't care. They seem to care anyway. So, is it a religion or not? Most people say it ain't. To me, I think it is, because it's a habit when people repeat the same stuff they've heard 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, or decades. Recently, this trend has been going on since on 2 years. It's ridiculous. It's not a conversation. It's a bullshit conversation that it should not be had online, especially the street stuff. I said this yesterday: keep that shit in the streets. Don't bring it online. If you're not really built like that, don't talk like that. Now, some guys are, but they're refined. They're more hidden. But the thing is, they're trying to get away from the shit. Why you want to go backwards? That's what I want to say. But then you complain about the same old person of the opposite sex, and you can't move on. That's why I don't understand. Because last time I was in a relationship, that was years ago, and I moved on quick. I was in my 20s. I realized I had my own purpose, and I did my thing. I already did that. I ain't even thinking about it. But these dudes, it's like a religion to them. They have to go to a church. And I know people is going to church because Sunday they're Christians, but that's one thing I can't stand. It's kind of like what you see in Christians. They preach the same shit over and over again. You got to leave the shit. I left this shit alone. A lot of people just don't want to deal with you long term. And I've noticed that lately. A lot of people's going to pick and choose who they're going to listen to based off topics. And I know this, when I talk about trauma bonding, a lot of people say they don't understand it. No, I understand it. It's like a religion. Like motherfuckers act like it ain't. I'm just asking the question: is it like a religion? Do you have these churches? Because a lot of your content creators acting like pastors. That's the bullshit I can't stand. But I'm trying to get the minds of you individuals that watch them, and I'll address this screenshot in the comment he sent me on that video that I was talking about. It kind of pissed a lot of people off, like it's supposed to. It had to. It had to because then I was on a stream with Ty City was talking about the same old shit. Don't you worry. I got a surprise for y'all Monday. What I'm talking about. I'm so tired of hearing that shit, bro. That shit is retarded. Keep that shit in the streets, saying all types of dumb shit. And this ain't got nothing to do with who's this and that. Get the fuck out of here with that. That's the bullshit I cannot stand. Like, this is what I mean by propaganda, prophecy, tropes. I hate fucking tropes. It don't get us anywhere. And this is why I had to agree with Zero this year and last year. He was right in some ways. The reason I see this, even though it went sideways, it divided the men up. And it did what it's supposed to do. And it did like it did last year. It did what it did in the summer when I started doing content. Niggas still hard-headed. They choose when to not to like something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so tired of the fact that people gonna pick and choose what they're gonna do. So I'll address the screenshot later. So don't get me wrong. I'm just gonna get into the question: Is it trauma bonding? That's all I want to know. Is it trauma bonding? Because I think most people don't understand what I'm getting at. Is are you trying to solve the problem or don't solve it at all? I'm done saving people that has this type of problem. Because mainly when you do this long term, you understand what's going on, right? I just don't understand the fact that trauma bonding is a big deal to most people. They think it's a big deal in these spaces. We got to talk about our trauma we went through. We understand the stories, but what caused you to get in those stories? What caused you to do what the opposite sex? You ain't telling your part in it. You just telling them for one side. And that's the problem with these dudes like I have is you're telling one side of the story. Ain't got nothing to do with no black man voice. We always had, let me tell you something. Most of the men of our race and our ilk, we always had a voice. Okay? We always had a voice. We may not, I won't preface this. We may not have always have a voice years ago, but that shit changed when we got on YouTube. No, we had a voice. It's called the 1.0 era. That shit came and went. This shit, what you see from 2.0, I'm going to break that down in this screenshot that Shannon showed me. That's 2.0 bullshit talking points that y'all stuck on. This is conscious community bullshit. And I'll tell you why. Because what it is, it turns into a goddamn religion. And it's like these churches. And I think I'm going to reference what Saruin said last year on the Sheila, after Sheila stream. If you listen to the 9-hour mark, he said, it's these red pill YouTube churches. It's fucking ridiculous. And this is why I don't listen to a lot of people when they talk about the select, non-select arguments, or should I say game versus non-game bullshit. It turns into a retarded ass religious argument. That's all it is. And you know what I say to that? Fuck that shit and get a life. See the real world. No one cares. If you're select, good. You got it, you got it. But if you're not select, who cares? Most people are non-select anyway. That's why I'm not mad about being one. But if you're select, why you online tripping and complaining about the same females all the day? If you're saying you're select, this is I have an issue with those guys. It goes both ways. Why care if you're on here? See, YouTube is just a hobby. You can talk about your topics, who you are, and just move on. That's what I do. I ain't got time to hear all this weird shit. Like most men don't talk like that in person. No, they talk about their day and things like that. Because in the barbershop, you talk about various things, political and things like that. But outside of that, you find a solution. It is what it is. Let's go on, Matt. Salute, man. Salute. Appreciate you. But that's the shit that I'm can't stand. Is when you have these topics, and I was going to say this yesterday, but I didn't. The bullshit has to stop. Like, I understand people don't like what I'm saying. I know they're pissed off, and the title said, "Is this is a religion?" This is going to be one of those things that I'm going to talk about from now on. What is a religion in these spaces? Are they YouTube red churches? I'm gonna use those screenshots for example next. I'll say next week because next week, yeah, because the spring's next week. Because this week is the last part of winter. But next week, I'm going to use some screenshots and call it the derelict, not the derelict, but the daily Thursday news. I'm going to call it daily Thursday news. I'm going to use a certain screenshot. If they have these same conversations, I'm going to roast them, roast the people in the comment section. Look what we're not doing. That's the bullshit I'm talking about. And then I'll have a couple screenshots to show y'all. This is why I don't be in these spaces like that heavily, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you. But like I said, is it a religion? Like, we're stuck on the same old shit I've seen 2 years ago, last year, and prior of those 2 years. It's pathetic, man. I've done caught up what the problem is with these dudes, and this is nothing personal to anybody. This is the bullshit I'm tired of hearing. Like, do something or shut the fuck up and go sit down somewhere. Because I think when you're stuck in a trauma, you need to go through therapy, period. That goes for both genders, especially the men. They need to stop this bullshit and get a life, man. Like, do something constructive. Stop worrying about the opposite sex all the day. That ain't gonna get you forward. And shouts out to TPOT hosting that little discussion, the race game, whatever you want to call it. And I think Raw B had a point. She had a point. I don't agree with everything she says, but she had a point, and I like what she said on this. She said this. She said, "You cannot move forward complaining about them all day long." And when she said that shit, that kind of resonate. And I'm like, that right there lets me know what time it is. You can't just cry about the same old shit all the time. This is one of those things that you got to look at. Is it a religion? Is it a problem with individuals? Is it a time and a place for everything? I think a lot of people look at this stuff and they act like they're baptized in the faith of red pill. I'm awake. I am alive. I hate women. All that type of shit. And it's pathetic that you see it year after year after year, right? And I know the villains, we talk about it extensively last year, was going against it around this time. And I'm surprised I'm still around. Okay. If I survive this month and next month, according to this channel, I've made it. That means I could celebrate the month of May, not on my birthday week, because I'm gonna be off on my birthday week. Um, it is what it is, and I'll come back and I'll let you know when I come back in May and do a stream and let y'all know. And I'm just gonna get some time off of the week and just get used to it. So it is what it is, man. Like, you got to get your mind right. I'm gonna do a topic called that on Thursdays. Get your mind right for Thursday Thrills for now on. I'm just gonna have a topic like that, and I'll bring it back in the summer because I won't do the daily Thursday news with the screenshots. Because the last time Thursday Thrills, it's gonna be a talk. It's just one time, but I'll extend it in the summer. What is your mind looking like when you're not in trauma? This is something to look at when you're on here. What is your psychological damage you're doing here? Because a lot of people got psychological problems. And I notice this when they get on panels, they start tripping and screaming and yelling about, she done took my child support away from me and all this other stuff. And you got a dude that says, fuck child support. What's his name? Mr. Palmer. No hate on him, but I'm just saying, like, okay, what are you doing to help brothers to get their shit right? I'm just saying, I'm not hating on them, nobody. Get it how you live, but I'm just saying, stop complaining about that shit. You're too old for that. You should understand that shit does not be conducive future wise. And I'm glad TPOT had a live stream talking about a race debate, whatever, and had a woman up there. It was Raw B privilege versus Little Big Nate's ass. He said, I'm done. That dude, right? That was interesting. That was a hell of a discussion. I'm not saying anything wrong with it. It's just, why are we here? Get what I'm saying? Why are we here? And I think when trauma bonding becomes its antithesis, we see this what it is, man. Like y'all come here and just act crazy for a minute. And I just look at these panels and I'm just like, I'm disgusted, but I understand why people are upset. I understand why people are upset. It matters the fact that most people don't want to deal with reality. They're upset. And I'm just saying like this. I'm not mad at anybody particular. I'm just saying in general, because these spaces, what you see in black spaces, especially these red pill, so-called red pill spaces, these dudes ain't really produce anything. Like, what these conversations are going to help? They're not helping the young man. You're hurting them. You're hurting them to the point that you don't give a fuck about them. And then it's going to come to a point. Do you give a damn about them in their future? I'm just saying like this. Do you really care about their future or not? Because most of the times these young men will be in the abysmal. And I hear conversations that there's suicide rates in other places, and I think DS1 broke that down last year, and it's still going on. I mean, shouts out to DS1 and everybody else, but this shit's got to stop, bro. Like, I understand people don't like certain things. I understand that people don't like the fact that you're doing all right. See, when you talk about trauma bonding, is it like a religion or not? I'm just saying, like, are they having collection plates like these super chats are collection plates? Because I think this is a good topic to talk about. I will bring up Shannon B's comment to fruition. And the reason I got to bring it in fruition, we got to understand, we got to look at what he's saying here. A lot of people think it's ridiculous and shit, but we got to understand something here, bro. We gotta stop trying to cape for something that don't make no damn sense. Like, I'm just tired of seeing this shit. And I'm just like, we're not mad at the brother or anything. We're just telling it like it is, man. Like, we're just telling it like it is. And we're just gonna be like, we're here. So I figured it out. So with the screenshot and then the new tab, and I'm gonna click on it. I think I'm gonna do it that way. Yeah, just give me another time. So I'm gonna go in on certain people. But yeah, I saw a stream with Ramil. Was it Friday? I believe it was Friday. And I took some shots. I'm gonna save it for Monday. Y'all see what I'm talking about. It's the same shit. And I think, oh boy, Kuda was tripping. I told y'all about this yesterday. Why bring the conversation and he trying to say I'm the man of the arguments? It's retarded, bro. Like, bro, you gotta let that shit go. Y'all sound dumb as hell. If you're pro game, I understand, but that shit's gone, bro. Shouts out to Ask Nathaniel said it best. That shit died after 9/11. Okay, that shit's gone. Niggas been exposed themselves, and it's over. The hoes are winning, like Ty City and all of them are saying Ramil. They gave him some pushback last night. Then I said to myself, I'm like, why y'all complaining about dudes tricking? Now, I'm not pro tricking at all. I'm just saying, who cares about them? Like, I don't care if they gonna give some ass or whatever. They're gonna legalize this shit anyway in the future because they try to say they ain't gonna legalize prostitution. They will. Y'all stuck on some bullshit that no one cares about. That shit died a long time ago. I'm tired of hearing about if he's a trick or not. It don't matter. Like, at this point, it's like he's gonna do what he do. He's part of the ecosystem. I'm gonna say it like this: they're part of the ecosystem, and they're gonna do what they do. If they're gonna make mistakes, let them die on that sword. But you got dudes want to help them. That's the problem I have with this conversation. They act like they're gonna save these niggas. No one cares, bro. It's not 75%. It's 95% of you dudes think like this, and I think people just don't care at the moment. Some people just gonna do what they do, and they just don't give a fuck. So I basically is looking at it like, why care about the next person? You know what I'm saying? I'm not tripping off of if you're a trick, you're this, you're that, you're tricking that. You know, it's who cares? That shit's dead to me, man. The last time when people accuse someone he's doing this and that, who cares? Like if he's gonna trick, let him. Let him. You know, my advice to people in the chat or whoever's listening in the clouds, I don't care for guys if he's tricking. That's his business. That's like, you know, I don't care if he does the game shit. Keep that shit in the street. Who cares about those conversations? Those shit's dead because neither one of you is right, no way. Because y'all ain't doing it right. And to come to find out, y'all all tricking. See, game recognize game. People know who has and who don't. And every time I say that on the third shift, he gets pissed off. It's a lot of people's like that. So he ain't the only one. It's a lot of people like that. And this is why I don't have those conversations with those dudes, because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Everybody's got different perspectives of it, but they're not listening to that bullshit. Because we know who's who. I know who's who. I don't even have to know a street, because I have family members that was in that shit. Y'all can't tell me shit about it. That's why I don't get in those pathetic ass conversations, because it's like religion. I don't fuck with that shit. I'm an atheist to that conversation. I'm an atheist to the conversation because it's retarded. It's not conducive for the men that's trying to do better and be better in life. And we got to move forward. See, now I ain't sound like no man's would do. I'm just saying, as a man, who cares? Most men don't care about that. That shit comes later. You know what I'm saying? Because most of you dudes ain't really built like that. They talk all this shit, how they got all these hoes. You don't show your women. Now, he said he showed his. Yeah, he showed a few pictures there and there, but that's it. But I'm saying the majority of dudes that believe in the other shit, show your women. And you why they can't show their women? Because they ain't got none. That's the problem. That's the problem. And we can't have those conversations with dudes like that online because it's not realistic. This is why you got to hold their feet to the fire this year, y'all. If they talk about that bullshit, hold their ass to the fucking fire. It's retarded as hell when you talk about game 95% of the time and tricking 95% of the time. Hold their ass to the fire. That's my challenge of this summer. Show the women. See, I ain't trying to say show them like show me. Just show and prove or shut up. I don't want to hear nothing. I'm not impressed. The thing about me, people that's watching, whoever, y'all got to impress me what y'all know. If you're an expert in this, impress me by showing some shit. Then I believe you. That's what it is, boils down to. It's a belief thing. Do I believe you or not? Because a lot of times when y'all talk that shit, y'all ain't really about it. I don't believe you. We need way more witnesses. I want y'all to shut me up when the conversations come around. If not, y'all shut the fuck up about it because y'all ain't doing nothing about it. You deserve to get roasted, clowned by these trolls. You get what you get. You can't cry about when people criticize you in the chat. That's just part of the thing. I respond to the chat and shut them down. I don't get mad at them. I cussed out one of your own in the chat that's fucking stupid several times. I told them go fuck themselves. And I said that. I meant what I say with the ones that don't like me. I tell them and they get roasted. And they get in their feelings and they dip out of the chat. And fuck they little weird ass names. Because I'm about that shit, man. Because in person, they get their necks broken, bro. I don't play that shit because I don't know you like that. See, where I'm from, you get bodied down here automatically. Because you can't be disrespectful in the South. A lot of people think you can. No, you get killed out here. You just gotta know what spots you're gonna be and see. Where I'm from originally, you had been gone. Here is kind of finesse, but you do get aired out. Don't make me mistake. That goes for all races. They do get aired out there. So don't get it twisted. Dudes get touched out here. That's why people get robbed a lot in those cities. But don't let the looks proceed. Don't let the sexuality fool you. Them dudes will rob you and shoot you, man. They don't play that shit, man. A lot of people's on a different type of time. That's why I'm very careful what I say online and offline because people on some bullshit. Because everybody's on the end of the world type shit. That's why you see the shit's going on in Ukraine. That's gonna spill over around the world. If shit gets like that and you have systems like Putin's exist, that's a problem for most people. So most people don't understand the gist what I'm saying. See, trauma has different levels. Yeah, they suffer all that childhood and everything. We get that, but we're talking about complaining about the same opposite sex 24/7 and making a religion out of it. That's the problem I have with the manosphere, the modern day manosphere 2.0, 3.0 groups, or further down the line groups. They make me sick talking about that shit. That is not a real conversation. Is it a religion? Is trauma bonding a religion for the weak? That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, because this is going to be a topic that I'm going to tackle on, and we're going to explain this vividly why this is a problem. But I think, when I open it up later, is this a religion? Because this is kind of fucked up when people look at this stuff and they be like, yeah, it's retarded at this point, man. Like, I'm so tired. Yeah, man. Salute, DS1, salute. But it's just the dumbest shit I've seen people say online is ridiculous. Now, I've seen a lot of dumb ass streams, a lot of ridiculous ass moments. I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot. I've seen people gave up on people and do another stream talk about the same shit. And I'm like, is this a religious fest? This is crazy. Shalom, Wacky, shalom. But is it a problem though? Because I've seen several other spaces and different ones talk something similar. But see, I watch everybody. But what I do is I examine the conversations. Now, the B1 dudes, they talk about something like family problems, men and women. That's understandable. But when you get in these red pill spaces, these so-called red pill spaces, and these dudes that make towels and all that, all they talk about is child support. See, this is the shit I've seen 10 years ago. It's not new. But then the conscious community killed it, and then they talk about the same old shit, and then the women, it's their religion. When they talk about politics, they stick to one ideology, but don't talk about the others. This is why they're surface level thinkers, and I can't have conversation with idiots like that. I'm sorry, and this is why me and Saruin look at other people different. Ain't that many come on my platform talk about that shit. It's a handful. It's a handful. It is what it is. But if people like to listen to our conversation, that's excellent. I have no issue with that. I'm just saying the ones that talk the most shit to say they don't like politics are surface level thinkers, and they can't hold a conversation. I think the advisor, Just DeAndre himself, Dr. Doom himself at the Palace of Petty, was saying this last year. They can't hold a conversation. And as certain individuals like say, what about BGS helping us out? He ain't helping you out. The Grandmaster is going to be who the fuck he is. He's going to be a guy that's going to give problems to people, but who cares at the end of the game? Yeah, what's going on, number one grinder? Salute. But yeah, man, is it a problem? Is it a real problem? Because I think the men should understand we got to stop complaining about the same old shit. I get why men struggle. I get why women struggle too, because a lot of it's systematic and some of it you can fix yourselves. But it's getting to the point where Raw B Privilege, what she was saying last night kind of resonate. And I like how she said it. She said, you can't use that in the future. We're not around or something. She said something like, you can't use that moving forward. And when she said that, she's absolutely correct, because you cannot use that. And it's bad because especially men, and I think Dre said this very, very well. You cannot use that. And that's just what it is. You can't get mad why things are the way they are. Why? Because I feel like it's a real problem. Like you can't get mad at what people say on the internet. You just really can't. You can't take these people serious, especially in the chat room, especially when we have conversations like this. Oh, they came at him Friday, and I'm glad they did, because that lets you know you got to stand on that shit. If you believe in that shit and you believe the dumb stuff and try to make it intergalactical, that's when you lose people. Just keep it simple. Don't make it intergalactic. Don't make. Oh, here's why I hate about people when they say make game so magical, and I agree with the other side of saying it's true, and that's true on Tasi's part. It's not magical. It's just that simple. I don't know why niggas try to make it magical. That's that PUA bullshit. Then you got the other side, the ones that trick. Let him trick. He's gonna be who he is. I don't trust him anyway, but he is gonna be his. He's gonna kill himself, or he's gonna sacrifice himself to others. I call that natural selection. Natural selection. Those dudes exist for a reason because we allow things to happen. So it exists long term. So the short term is we can fix it, but long term we got to reverse it. It's gonna be reversed long term, but short term is they're here. Because the long term effects of what happened to us, it happens through what we allow. But see, as men, we gotta understand. Like I said, the dereliction is day to day. Shouts out to Saruin for that, for saying that when he told me on air one time. It is what it is. But you cannot complain 95% of the time about the same opposite sex and the gender. You just can't do that. It's gonna get to a point you're gonna get tired of that shit long term. You be like, this is gonna be, you know what I'm saying? The select non-select argument is kind of dead to me at this point. I'm just like saying, like, look, it's one of those things that you gotta look at. Is it a real argument? Is it a real factor? Is it something that we expound upon in the future? So yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna show y'all the screenshot. You know, I'm not gonna bore y'all to death because I said it was gonna be on the 40-minute, but I might as well do 30 because I almost ran out something to say. I changed my mind. I said I'm gonna get this over with. Let's see what my man Shannon B says. I'm gonna look at this real quick and we're gonna see this together. Let's see this. And we're gonna see this, what he said. We're gonna look at this screenshot and see what he said. Let's see. Can I make it? Yeah, this. I'll read what he said to me. He said, as Sir Obadiah, right? People in the space actually are not talking about the same thing. Ever since KS, he said, Kevin Samuel, success, majority of the space been talking about getting married, asking women, are they getting the outcome they desire? Which is an extra weird. And the majority of the space, he should say of, and he had like a little typo right here, of space and the following women now. That's why hoes winning was such a mind-blowing concept. I disagree with that. That part I disagree with. That ain't true. The reason is you niggas allow that shit. The reason they winning, you got a lot of weak men that follow the wrong doctrine from the 2.0, 3.0 sectors. That's the problem. I'll explain that in a minute. We're going to read the rest. The women have came up in the manosphere talking points, cleaning house with the money part, making all years of content seems like pure bullshit. But everybody now are on some Derek Jackson content in reverse. I disagree with that. That's false. That's not true. Pandering to women, that's not true. A lot of dudes pander, no matter if it's all black sectors or manosphere. Most dudes that pander are simps. Those are violent guerrilla simps. That's who pander to women. That's just the truth. See, he's following that trope I don't like. I get what he's saying, but I disagree with this comment entirely, all of it, really. I'm gonna break it down. And he said, men are the new channels, but there are a vast amount of content creators, male and female, pandering to men. Yeah, see, that part I agree with the last part. The rest part I disagree with that. I want to dispel this Kevin Samuel shit. That's not true. Kevin saw the formula of how pathetic these niggas were, and the Black Order allowed that to happen. And Annihilator Beard is the cause of his rise. He threw it right back at the faces of everybody. That's what KS did. No hate towards the guy. I don't give a fuck about him, but he did his thing. He moved on. He didn't care about it. He was a plant the whole time. Second of all, you always had women in spaces from the classic 1.0 era, and they helped build the men in the spaces. Yes, but do you have panderers amongst the niggas? That was in later, what you see, the male spaces you see now. The women was going to come automatically. This ain't got nothing to do with it. I get what he's saying because that's the Silent Lamar and Ty City argument. That's not factual. What happened was you always had weak motherfuckers that's in the space that's always been violent gorilla simps, and they don't give a shit about anybody but themselves. But to his comment, I understand. I just disagree with the whole thing right here because this ain't got nothing to do with Derrick Jackson. That's irrelevant. That's bullshit. This is bitch ass niggas that can't be successful in their relationships, marriages, because they listen to weak men that create these religious ass topics like the PUAism and this bullshit MGTOW nonsense. And that's why I say fuck all of it. Because why I stand on it, I say fuck all of it. Because what killed this space, you're not productive in your shit. I don't give a fuck if you're a MGTOW or PUA. It's cool. That's your thing. But realistically, it's bullshit. Because it don't help us men collectively. I'm sorry, because they look at you like you crazy, man. They already paint y'all as incel terrorists, man. That's the problem with y'all. Y'all don't understand what a sting op is. You're already on the Southern Party laws terrorist list or the Homeland Security. That's the problem. It was supposed to mean something, but I get what y'all saying. Like, I understand the argument, but it's not valid. You can't use that in 2022 and beyond. It was cool back in 2012. I'll say from 16, you can use that. I'll say it like this. I'll fast forward 07 to 2017. You can use that. See, 2018, they was cracking down. And now. So we're in 22 right now. So yeah, but I'm going to knock this off the screen just to show y'all that I get what he's saying in so many words. And there was a comment by him, but shouts out to Shannon B for explaining his point of view of telling me that's what he thinks. I don't think like that, because most men in these spaces you see, it's a bunch of bullshit. It's just like you see it a lot from time to time and time again. It's like a religion. So yeah, but I'm gonna get in these comments and it's just the bullshit that I see. I see it from a different view because most men are weak, man. And yeah, what's going on, man? Let's go on. Yeah, I'm using the clouds. Okay, yeah. And he said the select non-select argument was always dead because it's based on something that is false. Exactly, and I agree with that. That's why I'm so tired of it, and I've had to do that because that Ramil string, he was talking about it. Okay, let's see right here. How in the world's hoes are winning? Mind-blowing concept. That shit is common sense. Hell yeah, it's common sense. Hell yeah, that is very common sense. See, what he just said right there is very common sense. That's all it is, and these dudes don't have it. And he said, interesting. Yeah, I said that. You had a great question, Shannon B. You had an excellent question. It's no hate. It's just what it is. What I see is years and years ago, it wasn't always like this. He said exactly. Okay. Greetings, Shar. Greetings. I want to see what Shar said. I'm late to the party. Yes, your question, trauma bonding is a religion. Who's your YouTube pastor? Absolutely. See, I just want to know, man. I'm curious, man. And he said we never saw the screenshot. And he said, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. What's going on, Nadia? Salute. And that's your point. But what I'm saying, your point was, it shouldn't be like that. But it's turning so goddamn religious. Like, I've seen a lot of streams. They want to preach this shit. Let me tell you something. Do you have women panderers? Absolutely. Do you have male panderers around the world? Absolutely. To fuck us men in particular, right? And our women, because our women is right behind us as well, because the men is the key. Once you eliminate our minds, then the women gets destroyed. See, our kids get destroyed. So you see this a lot. And then when your kids grow up and they say, oh, is this great? Or is the management bad or terrible? Yeah, they're going to say that. But is it conducive long term? No. It's a short term thing. See, long term, you got to do something about it, because in the short term, you got to make it matter. So most people say, yeah, hoes is winning. That's common sense. But most of these dudes, they just want to fuck everything. And to be honest, you can't save them all. I've learned this a long time ago. I learned this when I was in the workplace. You can't save these motherfuckers. And I learned this the hard way in time when I was younger. But once I got in the workplace, I understand it way more. These dudes haven't been outside and see the reality. Yeah, it's gotten worse, but you got to learn to adapt and move on. Ty City says the same thing. It's really common sense. Most of these dudes gonna lie 95% of the time. This ain't no 75%. This is 95% of the time problem. It can be solved in probably in 2 years or actually 5 months or actually a week. You can solve this shit right now. He said Holtz winning shouldn't have been a mind-blowing concept, but these dudes was making streams back to back to protect their channels because they were pandering to weirdos and incels. Exactly. See that right there. I like this answer by Shannon B right here. Let's read this again. Holtz is winning should have been a mind-blowing concept, but these dudes was making streams back to back to protect their channels because they were pandering to weirdos and incels. I agree right there. There you go. Take it off the screen. You just did. Yeah. There you go. I agree with that. Yeah. Appreciate you, Nadia. Let's see. Right here. Yeah, I had to show you that screen. I had to give him a shout out for that. Shannon B gave me that great comment. Salute to you for that. I made it part of my topic because that's going to be the kilter to what we need to talk about. Because some people just make it as a religion. Yes, I say it's a religion. I said it. Y'all don't like it? I said it, man. I said it. I stand on that shit. I have to say it's a religion. It's a bad thing. People gonna keep doing it. It's part of natural selection. And that's just what it is, man. Like natural selection is real. Let it run its course. It's gonna work out. We're gonna be all right. Just don't participate in it. It's just what it is. You gotta learn to adapt right and move on. Because a lot of these dudes, they'll make streams about anything, a bunch of bullshit. They could make about dudes being this, and then we ain't learning nothing out of it. I just saw a stream today with Ramil hosting SMD, and B Mays had the chin check boy. I was gonna do a screenshot on that, but I said no, just don't get advice dealing with money. And that's the problem what you're dealing with long term. So when you have us brothers fighting, I ain't gonna say niggas, but but that's nigga shit what was going on in the Ramils. But that's all I'm saying on that one. But we're gonna leave that alone. We're saying as black men, like if they try to promote black men, right? Us brothers shouldn't be killing each other like that. But you know what's so funny though? On the internet, offline, I see it all the time. Fist fights. There's some shootings, and I've seen bodies and pictures that people show me all the time. It's wild shit, right? Down here, everywhere else. It's everywhere. But you know what's so funny? It made its way online years later. See, we didn't have the smartphone era. I mean, we built the smartphone to help the younger generation to see the computer and read faster. But you know what I've noticed? I saw an ad. It fucks with your eyes long term. There's this plant or fruit, this orange something plant that cleans your eyes out. It's not carrots, but it's a plant. It's a flower. It cleans your eyes to get your vision back or something. But I forget what it's named, but it's an ad. I see it on YouTube a lot. But I don't know if that will help. I don't know if that's true. But that's a whole nother sidebar. But I'm just saying, people love this shit, man. It's like a religion. He said, yeah, it's a religion. Yeah, it's a religion. And that dude is a scammer, though. Yeah. I give you that. Yeah. He seems like a scammer. Yeah, yes. SMD, we can say that. But that dude is just the way he did B Mays chin checked him. He was so mad, boy. I hope Ramil kept that stream up. God damn it. He needed to keep that shit up, bro. That's just how I felt about it. I'm not mad at people, what they do. It's just what it is, man. I'm not saying nothing like anything bad. I just want people to do better. I ain't trying to save nobody. I just want the ones that I can help can do better. Just don't worry about the dudes tripping off the wrong shit. It's going to happen. It's going to get better. You just got to make sure your mind is right. So we're not mad at nobody. Oh, he kept it up. Thank God. It's called Money Doesn't Exist for People in Debt with Savings Minus Debt. Okay. Are you a debt slave? See, that's the key word, debt slave. I ain't gonna get into money arguments, but that's the problem. And people got triggered, and B Mays had a chin checked him. He said, no, boy, you better not mess with my shit. And it's sad. You can't get mad at everything in the world. You can't get mad at the world trying to say, well, he doing this, he doing that. He's supposed to, and you never trust nobody on the internet. If you pay his course or whatever, his online shit, he's gonna finesse you. That's just part of America capitalism, whatever you want to call it. I want to talk about capitalism next week. This week I'm going to talk about contractitarianism. I'm going to talk about that. That's a new philosophy. I'm going to talk about it. I'll do a part 2 on that one. If people like it. If they like it, I'll do a part 2. But capitalism, we're definitely going to talk about it. That shit right there is just ridiculous at this point. But a lot of people love this shit, man. They think this is a game out here. I only see a beard that color. Oh shit. Wow. Yeah. Oh, get out of there. I know what she mean by that. All right. But yeah, it's just like what I've seen so much, the trauma bonding, it becomes a problem. So what you have here is you got niggas crying about the same old shit. Yes, it's pussy. Yes, it's a combination of everything, but you got to understand something. You can't be whining about the same stuff. See, men, yes, we show emotions in different levels. And I forget what the advisor said. He said that part you can't. You got to show a little toughness because women can get away with 3 emotions. We can't. We only have at least 2. The third emotion is optional, but that's when you really lose something. You don't use that, but we use aggression. That's the anger. That's a natural selection behavior. So men got to understand, if someone do you wrong, you're supposed to address it immediately. But 9 out of 10 don't work that way. We're suppressed. You got guys like SMD in the world finessing people and finagling in the world. Then you have problems. A lot of people just gonna hate the fact that they fucked up. They fucked up a lot of times. He said, I didn't fucked up. I didn't fucked up. Yeah, you did. You fucked up. You didn't pay the man. He was mad as assistant. And there you are. You know what I'm saying? But most of the time, you got to do what you got to do. So basically, I'm just saying like this. Most people do not care whether it's a trauma bonding or not, but I'm just saying like it's a religion or not. But to me, it is. And I'm referencing back what I said last year and this year and the last year I did yesterday. And I just asked that question: is it a religion? Like, is it really a problem that we've seen? I mean, I've seen these conversations when they try to say, "Oh, I'm the select. I get all the good bitches. Oh, I'm non-select. I can't get no bitches." See, it's the same old shit. And then it turns into a religion and a spout, and y'all niggas ain't doing nothing. Y'all ain't producing no content on that. Where's the moment where we have to feel worthy? You know what I'm saying? Ooh. I get my thirst on. But I'm saying, man, it is what it is, man. It's just goes to show you they're lost. Especially us men, we're lost. We can't be listening to that shit. But I understand people love that shit as entertainment. I get it. But it's like, why? Y'all ain't got no solutions. That's the problem. Like, I understand the solutions. Just get out there and do it. And they just don't want to do it. But you can't get mad at them because it's like a religion, man. I'm just saying, I had to tackle that. Let's see what Shar said. At this point, it's time to just make fun of it. Create the theme song when you see them. Just start humming. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You got to at this point. That's what I'm trying to do with the screenshots. And I'm just like, man, this is embarrassing. Maintenance emotions. I feel hungry. I feel sleepy. That's it. Oh, okay. Cool. Let's see what else he said. And I said, men feel emotion, not maintenance. Yeah. There you go. But like I said, it is like a religion to me. It's bad enough and it's not conducive for our health. I mean, it causes problems, depression, things like that. You lose everything. You got to see some clinical help. And listen to violent music won't help. And you got to understand that most people just don't give a shit. But one thing I've learned about people, I can't get mad at the world all the time. So I understand it's a natural selection of people. Some people going to die off, some people ain't. It's just what it is. You just got to look at it like they love talking about this shit. I stopped listening to those type of conversations last year, probably somewhere around July. quiet. To be truthful with you, July and August. Once I had the microphone, I just went on the other shit. Ever since then, from August until the month of this year, March, since a year since I've listened to shit, and they brought it back up in this month. This is like religion. I try to tell you, this is like 2 years in a row. They talked about this 2 years in a row. And while I was watching Kuda's old stream last year, yeah, they talked about that a year ago, and now last year there was a split between us and a certain individual that I was all right with, but we ain't now. And now you look at same old shit, another split about to happen. And it's stupid arguments like that. Like, this is what I mean by PPTs, propaganda prophecy tropes. What I mean by propaganda, it has a propaganda behind it. They're trying to sell you something, right? Then they try to act like it's prophecy. Then it's a trope behind it. Stupid shit. When do we get into tropes? That's the shit I stay away from. And then they want to have glorified echo chambers. They don't want to be challenged on it. We challenge niggas on panels. They challenge me. Okay, cool. I challenge them all the time in the chat room. Chat room's undefeated. You can't bitch and complain about it. Mindless topics is another one. This is what I'm talking about. This is one of the mindless topics that we are talking about. We're gonna make a stream about mindless topics. I think it's a future stream for Thursday Thrills. I'm gonna save that for Thursday. I'll save it, or I'll probably do it on the Sunday stream. I might do it on the Sunday. It depends. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but yeah. And if they ever ask me that, I'll probably do one. I ain't gonna do it this Thursday, but I'll probably do it. It'll be a Sunday stream. Yeah, I won't say that for Sunday Mass. I won't piss some people off. And when I do that, we're gonna name what are the mindless topics that you hear around just YouTube in general, these red pill spaces, whatever, and we got to get into it because it's going to get to a point. You got to get away from that. You got to talk to the opposite sex on the panels or in the chat room, whatever. You got to interact with them. You can't have a small window religious echo chamber. I'm gonna call it a glorified religious echo chambers. That'll be my next Sunday Madness stream prior to that one, because it's gonna be like a series or something. I'm gonna have a mini series. I'm gonna have, and then I don't know if I'm gonna do streams on it, but it's just ridiculous. I mean, it's something to talk about. Like, yeah, it's a discussion, and that's something I'm gonna keep going in March because I know people are gonna be stuck on this bullshit forever. So we're gonna talk about it. But the go outside challenge is on. I'm with it. He said, okay, the solution is to release. They don't have the way to release it with the woman they desire. Oh, exactly. I agree. That's absolutely correct. Correct. That is very true. And challenges messes with the church's money. Exactly. If you challenge, I'll leave this up right quick. Hold on. I'll leave this up right quick. She said something. The solution is to release, but they don't have a way to release it with a woman they desire. And that's factual right here. I started that one and I started this one. Challenges messes with the church's money. Facts. Because when you challenge a system, when you challenge their religion, that's what I did 2 years ago. Came an issue with Fantastic, right? Mr. Fantastic. I call him Mr. Fitnelli. Mr. Fitnelli himself always said George Floyd died with fentanyl. We know that's bullshit. Shouts out to the advisor, told me the truth about what really happened. Shit like that. Several other individuals I got in with that disagree with me, that I challenge this shit and don't want to admit that they're wrong. It happens. I admit that I'm wrong all the time. What about you? No, they don't do that. You mess with their money, they get you up out of there. It's no, nigga, you're not allowed to go. You know, they start growling and shit. And they be cussing and growling and shit. That's what these niggas do. They said, they ain't cussing and growling. They ain't cussing and growling. They ain't cussing and growling. Yeah, they are. The niggas is cussing and growling and try to hurt you. They on some bullshit, man. I thought we was bros, man. Oh my God, man. It's just, I'm not mad. I understand. I know it's a part of the natural selection team. We get it. We get it. We get it. We get the fact that y'all don't like us. And it's just what it is. I'm not mad at the fact that people are gonna do what they're gonna do. You can't get mad at the world. What's going on? People gonna make mistakes. People gonna fuck up. We got to learn that most people will fuck up regardless. You can't get mad at the fact that people gonna make a mistake. It's just human nature. You gotta understand something. A lot of people are desperate for attention. They can destroy the very fabric what you're doing right now. So it is what it is. It is what it ain't. But we can't get mad at the fact people love trauma bonding. They know this is like a religion to them. We know, is it a religion or not? And I'm just asking that question. Can you deal with that? It's like leaving the pulpit. So I know it's Sunday. I know it's church people for the Christians, whatever. It's cool. It's cool and dandy. But you gotta understand something. It's one of the biggest reasons why I did this topic, because I want to get to the bottom why select and non-select topics matter. Really, it don't matter, because I think if you're non-select and you're trying to improve your lifestyle, whatever, that's cool. You should focus on yourself and not worry about the shit. Now, if you're a select person that treat people a certain way, that's cool. But then if you treat them badly, you got something to work on mentally. Just because you're select, you may not get chosen. You're worse than a non-select person. No, a non-select person can get somebody. If he has good confidence in himself, he'll be all right. Same with the select person. He has to have the mentality to treat people better. But when you got those two arguments, they become stale. It goes back to one answer. They all want attention. Everybody wants attention. And sometimes it turns into class. Because we know the select, non-select argument doesn't exist. Anybody can be select in the right decisions. But if you're a non-select person, you're just not fit for a relationship. It ain't for you. Just keep it that way. Let's quit making it a religion out of it. That's the problem. But I understand they love religions. This side is non-select. He don't believe like I do. This guy select. He gets all the bitches. He don't believe in I do. It's like denomination type shit. Denominational. Wow, man. It's just like, I don't get it, man. Like, I've been on this thing for almost 10 years. Well, I've been on this thing for like really 14 to 15 years, but I'll say 14 years as a total on YouTube, because this is my second channel. This will be 10 years next month. So yeah, man, this is what it is. And he said, fantastic as a gorilla. Said, hey, yeah. A silverback at that. I don't take that nigga seriously. The sex dolls didn't solve the problem, but it was said that it would replace the woman. Yeah, there you go. It didn't. It didn't. It just made it worse. People try to say it solved the problem. No, it didn't. It just made it worse. And you got a lot of problems. And it is what it is. I'm not hating on people that has it. That's on you. You like that, you do your thing. I ain't bothering you. If that makes you, hey, that's you made that decision. It's, I hate woman. I hate her. It's my religion to say Allah Akbar, bloom on that. That's what they think. They worse than these dudes. I got a good one. I'm select in the name of Christ. I am the select chosen one in the name of the Most High in Christ, or in Jesus. Matthew such and such, right? They need to have a Bible, a red pill Bible, try to say, Kevin 15 verse 8. And it should say, thou shalt not wear street clothes in the name of the corporate building. Wow, man. Wow, these niggas they silly, bro. They silly, bro. Oh, man. But I got another one. In the Old Testament of the sphere, I'll say Milartes 25, verse 4. I shall dye my beard, thou annihilator colors, in the name of the Most High, blessed the Lord. Oh man, yeah, he's in St. Kevin. Yeah, but it is what it is, man. Like they need a religion. Like these dudes be following these dudes like idols, man. But Mount Meta, man, another one, man. Like there's a verse. Y'all caught that joke. He need to be in that verse, bro. Oh man. It's just it's bad out here, bro. It's bad out here. Yeah, let me drop this shit. But this is gonna be on fire. But yeah, I know people are in here. I'm just gonna get this shit. I'm gonna pin this because I do this every Sunday. But not worrying about nobody. But the other weeks I don't usually open it up like that. But Sunday's the day. It's one of those days that we got to. This is daylight savings springs forward, I believe. This new time is not surprised. I'm not hurt. I mean, it's just an extra hour early. It's gonna be a lot of daylight, sky blue. People enjoying the outside. I'm just looking from my window, whatever. Normally, I'll be outside, be talking to people, but you know what it is. But yeah, it's one of those days. Nice day, Sunday, but it's cold as shit. But we gotta do what we gotta do, man. And like I said, some things you just gotta look at it from a grain of salt for certain people, and then you just look at it for like, what's the purpose? But you got people talk about it. Is it a religion or not? You know what I'm saying? But most people just going to act a certain way. A lot of people are just not going to go in and just fall for it. I know some people are going to get upset and try to say, man, he ain't talking about nothing. That nigga ain't talking about nothing. He ain't talking about nothing, man. He ain't talking about no religion. That nigga ain't talking about nothing. It is what it is. And people get upset. It is what it is, bro. But we got to expect that. We got to expect that. Check, check, chill. Do you understand me? Great skull. Check, check, chill. Did that rhyme? It is what it is, bro. It is what it is. Who is this? Who is that? Oh, shit.
That name is real popular around these YouTube streets.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So I figured I'd use it. I spell it right, Minaj. Let me make sure. Minaj. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the name is real popular around these YouTube streets. So I said, well, let me use it. Let me go ahead. See if your views go up because everyone is using it for views.
Yeah. Oh, me.
Yeah, that's what I noticed anyway. Can't get
Yeah.
away from it. I keep scrolling. I'm like, what is this? Nikki did some. She hasn't done anything more than she did 2 weeks ago, but she's being talked about a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's been referenced a lot. She's trying to say, she's attacking us. I said, no, she's attacking certain individuals.
Well, if you feel it in your shoulders, it might be true. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Shout out to my girl there, Nadia.
Oh, shouts out to Nadia. Feel it in my shoulders.
Yeah, I think that's what it might be. They feel it in their shoulders, but I don't know. But on a serious matter, what you're speaking on, with your title, um, it is just churches. That's what the black sector of YouTube have turned into. The smaller churches, of course, they get the less views, the less donations, because they're teaching you how to change your life and to look at yourself. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I don't know, us poor church pastors, we're just going to have to keep our building fund up for years and years and years because, you're not going to get the amount of support it takes to actually complete that building.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then you have your other churches where you have your drama field, and that's going to get the numbers, that's going to get the super chat, so people can be involved because it turned into reality TV um, that you can interact with. So you can just be a part of the show. And those, it's another church right there.
Mm-hmm.
And you have your church where the different colors, red, black, pink, purple, and all these different color medications. And I just really want to know, once you take the medication, when do you become well? Because I haven't seen anyone heal yet. Have you?
No, no, same problem.
Because I've been looking. I look, I'm like, okay, let me see about this black pill. Let's see. They still taking that medication. When they gonna be healed? Poor thing. Go over to another. Let me see what's over here. Let me see. Red. Dang. They still messed up over here too. Okay, let me check what this is. Pink. Oh, more medication. Let's see. Oh, they messed up too. Okay. We go on this side. Purple. Oh, oh shoot, they sick too. I'm like, is any doctor gonna write the right prescription of these pills? Because the people still need healing.
Hmm. I see green too. Green,
Oh wow. They got
orange.
do they have the medication right over there? No.
No, and not with orange either. Or should I say yellow?
Oh wow. Let me Google some of this stuff. I've never seen those come up in my feed. Hmm. Orange peel. Um. First thing came up is Bitcoin. Taking the orange peel, a theory or reality? Oh Lord. What is a orange circle peel? Anxiety. Keep looking. Hmm. Should I put slang or something like that, or um, jargon? I mean, how can I find that?
Um,
Ghetto? I don't know because Google said I don't know what you're talking about, lady. Let's see. Uh, Ghetto penthouse, drug names. Yeah, I don't see that particular one. But like I said, whatever color it is, take it if it makes you well. But that's what I'm trying to understand. When is people gonna heal and be well? I haven't seen that yet.
I haven't seen it either. They just keep on going till the name of Christ will come in the name of these pills. Woo!
Mm, mm.
Collection plate.
Yeah, but that's what it is, though. But if that's people have the right to get their 501c, um, build their church by creating their Google name and everything, fire it up, and there you go. There's the pastor.
Yep.
All kind of different credentials. Some are from jail, some are just um, helping the community, some are just want to get at women in the community, just all kind of pastors, just like you see in your a neighborhood or a poorer neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
Liquor store, currency exchange, church, another store, another store, church. I mean, it's just how it's built.
Yep. Churches on every corner. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what made me question about religion, because I started, I just had to question. I'm like, well, wait a minute, all these different churches, and well, when is our people gonna be healed? I'm like, I walk this street, they look messed up. That one on crutches, canes, bent over, oxygen tanks. I'm like, these people messed up. Go to the next church. They same thing, next block. I'm like, wow.
And it don't matter the sexual orientation too. My mom told me that as a kid, and she told me that they have always had them, but they didn't broadcast it back. You know, when racism was around. But what I found out was interesting years later when they, well, so-called Obama freedom, but you know they always gonna get their rights anyway. And I was like, they in every churches, and especially down here in Georgia. I was like, wow, like every denomination, and they had their own little collection plates and stuff. I say, this is weird. But you know, but it's a big difference where I come from, living here for decades, and they have their own little communities. Like I tell people all the time, and then when I see it online, I'm like, oh man, this is bad. But I get it. I get it. They like to see their pastor. Now you get to talk to them instead of be
Right.
behind the pulpit. And then and it hit me. I said, oh, I
Hmm.
see this. Yeah, this is
Hmm.
beyond church. This is digital. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Then the
Okay.
pastor say your name and bless you. Shout out to the $5 super chat, John Doe. Thank you, Pastor. Hallelujah. I
Hmm.
feel it. So, so it's interactive now. So um, that's what it is. But I mentioned somewhere, I don't know if I was on a panel or I just wrote in the chat room, but what I've noticed growing up that men just never taken to church. They just never. Their
That's
wife might
true.
have went. They might have been dragged out for Christmas or something like that, but they normally just never like to go. And for the online community with pastors for men, it just grew. It's like now I feel it. This is what I like. And a lot of men, just think about it, are out here with their digital church. And it works for them. This is where the men gather for whatever reason, because everyone has, different reasons. And it works for them.
Yeah. And I was curious why it's like that. But you know, I understand years ago it wasn't like that. But then I was like, wow, I see they put their faith in. And I don't even get mad anymore. I've learned to understand these guys. Why so much? And yeah, they had bad experience in the church, but you're also in a digital church and you don't even realize it. They don't even realize it. And it's amazes me how they think. And then the talking points is like, oh man, it's paramount. You quoting your pastor. You quoting your pastor. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
that is true. And that's why I looked at it that way. I said, wow, I said, these are really pastors. They donate to the church to keep the doors open because it does take money to run the church.
Yeah.
The smaller church, yeah, you may not need a lot, but you need it to grow. I mean, like with me, I'm transparent. I only get about 75 to maybe $80 a month, and that's just started after about 4 months, I think. And that covered all my expenses when it came down to the internet and the StreamYard bill. And well, I haven't changed my message. Now, if I change my message and get into the ratchetness and calling men names and calling women names and stuff like that, I'll get a little bit more because people like to see that. They'll come from, their church may not be in session. So they'll come over to my church and like, oh, let's see what oh, yeah, let me donate to that. And then you'll have that going on. So, un- unfortunately, I'm just going to be me. I don't know how to be anything else. I might have been quiet. I haven't changed. Someone may say, oh, she's changed. I'm like, no, I just never said anything. My opinion is my opinion, and it will always be. But I would never attack anyone, nothing like that. And I don't argue with people. I don't do that in my house, in the street, at work, or any place else. I'm not going to do that anywhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what I see, man. I do the same thing. It's just like I understand why they do it, but wow, it's just like, and it took me 2 years to understand why these guys make a religion out of it. I was like, whew, sheesh. But but I get it. I understand it now. I said I had to ask my question: is it a religion? Is it like you believe in your Lord and Savior? You like trying to tell everybody to join over here. And I'm like, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, I mean that's where you want people to congregate and donate to, and it grows. Come on, it grows in popularity. Um, it makes you feel better that your pastor is doing better than the other pastors down the street. It's so much to that when in the mindset. It is.
Hey y'all, what's going on?
Let's
Peace.
go on this one. What's
Hey,
going
how
on, man?
are you?
I'm good. How are you, Shaw?
All right.
Um, I totally agree with what y'all saying. I think a lot of people don't understand just how psychological this stuff could be. Um,
Hmm.
I mean, I kind of I kind of dealt with this stuff early on in my YouTube career. Dealing with HOK and all of that stuff. So I learned back then that it was a church. You know, I actually used to call the HOK the conscious church. Um,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
and they don't understand. A lot of people don't understand that this whole sheep way of thinking is actually the blueprint of the so-called powers that be of what they created. A lot of people think it's just relegated to a isolated situation. No, this is how the world works. This is what the 85% represent: the sheep, the blind, deaf, and dumb. So we got to understand that the majority of the people that's watching, or who's on the internet in general, who partakes in social media in general are sheep. They're looking for someone to follow. They're looking for someone to copycat. They're looking for someone to regurgitate. They're looking for this because 85% of the people in this world think that way. Their spirit is that way. Their mindset is that way. That's how they are. And if you are different, if you stand out, if you're not part of that 85%, you're a problem.
Hmm.
You're a glitch in the matrix. You're a hater. You're a shit starter. You're mad. Um you mad cuz you broke. Um you mad cuz you not successful like this person. That's what all of those euphemisms that
Hmm.
they come up with to talk shit and as a response to them feeling better being a follower. So
Hmm.
what makes them feel better being a follower is, oh, well, the guy that I follow drives a Camaro. What do you drive?
That's
You
right.
know,
Look at my pastor. He got a
right,
Yep.
Cadillac.
right.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's what all that is. And what we got to understand is that is how the majority of the world thinks.
Yep.
So of course it's going to be really prevalent here on YouTube and throughout social media because the world's on the World Wide Web.
Hmm.
So
That is true.
I
So true.
I think a lot of people come to YouTube and they decide on what what pastor they're gonna follow. I'm gonna
Yep.
just use y'all analogy,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Go
they
ahead. Mhm.
they think they think, and this ties into what you were saying earlier, Sir O. They think that their denomination is better. Oh, we
Right.
we
Right. Mhm.
Baptists, we don't fuck with the Pentecostals. They be over there in their church just reading and learning. No, we like to sing. We like to have a good time and praise the Lord. We don't like to just read the word. It turns into that.
Yeah.
It turns into that, and
Facts.
that's how they
Hmm.
judge your content. They judge your content based on that. Oh well, he over there talking about that spiritual shit, man. That's for broke niggas. I want to dance and I want to wiggle and it turns into that. But that's just them, like you said earlier. That's just them saying that my pastor's better, my church is better. You need to come get down with our church because our church is the church. So, and it's just sickening because this is how the so-called, and I call them the so-called powers that be, because we know who the real power belongs to. But this is how they continue to oppress people by getting people to believe falsehoods. And then they use these ideologies as a way to step on other people and to keep everybody else down, not knowing that they're still being oppressed at the same time. That's what they call the 10%. These are the blood suckers of the poor. These are the people who know that everyone's being oppressed, even them, but they choose to be, what we would call a house nigga. The house nigga is the 10%. That's the guy, the boule butt buddies. Those are the guys who, they come in and they say, hey guys, well, we got a new plan. We're going to go this way. And the whole time, that way that they're directing you is the same way that the system is directing you. They're just taking you around the corner to get to the same direction. So us 5%ers, the poor righteous teachers, the real ones who are awakened, has to what we have to do is we have to collaborate and do business and do things in a positive family fashion, so we can then make that cool, embracing being an independent thinker. We have to make that cool though, because being a follower is cool.
Yep.
Hence, you got Twitter. You have Twitter. These social media platforms has programmed the minds of the people, and they don't even see it because we're fighting for followers.
Yep.
Right. That's true. That's true.
We don't even see that.
Too. Yeah, that's true.
You don't even see that, man, and that's crazy. But
it's just like what you see on the internet in general. So I'm not really mad. I understood this when I was younger, but at the time I didn't think of it. But the people up top, they love to manipulate, and it's like what you see in this war. Like, I'm not surprised Ukraine beating the Russians' ass, even though Putin is, like I said, is on his last leg. Like, we see so many dynamic leaders fall like that show themselves in the public. He was just a sacrifice, but them oligarchs, they can't even spread their money around. I mean, we got our own, like the ones up top, the super oligarchs, so they seize everything. Like, as soon as you mess up, that sound like the Gaddafi shit and everything else. And when I've noticed something on the news, they tell on themselves. And then the nukes is coming out, those rocket asylums they use. I said, oh my God, here we go again. And I mean, I'm not buying this, I know people call it World War III, whatever. Yeah, it's not gonna be as disastrous as you think. And don't be surprised they nuke one area. And then if you survive that, and then I think me and Drake talked about this off air one time, and he said, these people have no idea that if you survive that and then they try to kill your family again and again, and even though we're bad enough as a country, I look at this stuff, and then the internet just don't help things. The media just don't help things. Oh, somebody got blown up over here. And next thing you know, the two religions always protect, and then, the Muslims say, I'm out of here. But the other ones, they like to fight. And I noticed that, but online, it's worse. Oh, it's worse. And you see new churches everywhere. But I don't get mad because I understand what they believe in. But it's kind of funny. A space like this said, well, I don't believe in religion. I'm an atheist. I'm like, sir, you believe in something.
Yeah.
You're over here, Captain. You're over here, Captain. Then you giving them $50 cash apps. I ain't gonna say stack up a match. I don't leave that alone. But I'm just saying, it's ridiculous, man. And then $100, not cash apps, but super chats. And I see them super chats, all colors. I'm like, wait a minute. Don't that look like a collection plate? Yeah, but y'all have it. My fault. I was on a little tangent there, but yeah,
You was asking me something, Shaw?
I was gonna say something. I kind of forgot, but I'm looking in the chat, and I just responded to Era just to say I agree what he's saying about having a bigger goal. Men should have them, but if they don't know which way to go, that still make them followers, and they're looking. They're trying to find the agenda, as you're saying here, or the goal. They don't know, so they're looking. They go to these different churches. Oh, here's a red pill church over here. Let me check this one out. Oh, here's a black one. Here's a green. Here's a yellow. Here's a big, and they just go to different churches. And then, as far as following, I know I was going to say sheep. As far as we're fighting for followers. You see that the pastors get mad when they see you at another church. So you don't even have an opportunity to see if you have, something else in mind. Like, oh, let me look over here. Ah, my followers over there at that church are black. How dare they? And then they try to shame you for
Mm-hmm.
trying to learn something new. So it's so sad. It really is.
Mm-hmm. And as far as what Eric Black was saying, the issue with that is a lot of these men never came here with a goal in mind.
right.
A lot of people, a lot of these men just and I don't want to say this, but a lot of these dudes, they they don't have a purpose. They never had a purpose for ever creating a YouTube platform. Their purpose was to make money.
Oh, you're
That's
talking about
that's
the
that's
church
all it is.
side of it. You're not talking about the
Yeah.
followers, right?
Yeah. I'm talking about the
Oh,
church side of it because
okay.
the pastors and or a man who seeks to be a leader, you have to have a reason for that. What is your purpose? How are you going to lead men? Where are you leading them to? Where are you taking them from? Do you even understand the current conditions of what men are dealing with? Not this silly shit y'all talking about, far as the black love industry. We're not talking about who men. We're not talking about men who are sexually deprived. We're talking about real issues, and that's the problem. These guys never came here with a end goal in mind. Their agenda was to come here as a hustle to find a means to pay their bills.
Now, as
Because
far as, oh, I'm sorry, not finished. Go ahead.
and I was gonna say because a lot of these guys, um, they're actually um afraid to go out in society and work or go out in society and do what it is they need to do and come back in and use YouTube the way they're really using it. Because a lot of these guys just need to go ahead and get jobs. Because you don't have no purpose for having a platform. You just hustling. So go get a 9 to 5. Go get a job and then come here and talk all the garbage you want, and people don't have to pay you for it. You don't have to be misleading men and causing a bunch of chaos and confusion for nothing because you got to pay your rent. Go get a job, homie. Go get a job. Cause you're not teaching men shit. You're here talking shit to men so they can pay you so you can go get something to eat. I
Facts.
don't come from them kind of men. I just don't. So I never understood how dudes can even use this as a hustle to pay their bills and all that type of stuff. If you can use the money for that, that's cool. But that was never my intention. Forever coming on YouTube, forever having a platform. That was never my intentions because I'll go back outside
Hmm.
in a minute,
Now, see,
So
that proves that you didn't have an agenda, but there's so many that do. Like for
Yeah.
myself, I only created content because I was encouraged to do so. And
mhm,
I ain't gonna say unfortunately, I would just say two people really encouraged me. And one guy never came to my chat room. I haven't seen them yet. And the second person have come to my chat room. That was it. So I'm like, And I even said when I was going to create it, because it was only supposed to be for uploads. I was encouraged because I was told that I gave good advice. I'm like, okay. And they're like, you should do content. And keep saying, you did the content. So I'm like, okay. Let's see how it goes. And I would do the uploads, whatever. And that was fine. And the only reason I started doing the live streams is because I had what's his name? That's a shame. You hear me say that. Zero, the Infinite, he had asked me to do a women's channel on a new sector he was creating called the Neo sector. And I said, okay. And I tried that for about 2 months, I think. And I was going into the third month, and that StreamYard bill came. I said, nope, I'm not getting any support. That's it. I'm not paying for this. I don't mind helping anyone. I've been around YouTube a long time. I would help. But when it started costing me and I can't afford it, even though $25 may not be much to a lot of people, it was cutting in on my budget. So I just didn't have it to give. So I'm like, well, I'm going to cut this. And then I moved on to doing the live streams, but I wasn't even going to do that. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. But let's see if I get the support. And I'm with you, Sheep. I will pull that plug in a minute because I'm not going to change who I am just to get the views and to maintain that channel. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to compromise who I am. So you're just going to get the same pastor. You ain't got to worry about me doing anything different for some views and some
Right.
donation. It ain't going to happen. No more than who I am. And that's it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Facts. That's really holding the line.
Yeah.
That's really holding the line. That is what holding the line denotes. You know,
Hmm.
not holding people up in their bullshit. That's not holding the line.
Okay.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Mm-hmm.
and Era Black, he says YouTube is not a classroom. Yes, it is.
It sure
People come on
is.
you. People come on YouTube and learn how to fix their brakes for their car.
Right. They
Come
know
on, man.
learn
We
how to
gotta
manipulate.
right. We gotta stop. We gotta stop. We gotta stop that. That way of thinking has to stop.
Mm-hmm.
So if YouTube is also a business, how is it not a classroom?
Exactly. It has
We
always
gotta
been a
stop that.
classroom.
We
Yeah,
gotta
and
stop that.
I get tired of hearing when people say that, and I think another person said that. No. Classrooms are important because certain people have that knowledge. Just like there was a Muslim said something about Malcolm years ago, and I watched. I think this is around what 2013 to 2012. It's right around this time. I was about to turn 24 that year. I think it was 10 years ago. He said something. Study Malcolm. He said, "It's like a classroom when you hear him talk." And he memorized that dictionary in 4 years while he was in prison. Amazing how he said that, and the way he said it. I forget his name, but he had like a reddish beard. I forget his name, but he was overseas talking about and study Malcolm. But you know, he was trying to be throw some slick shots in there. But outside of that, he gave him respect though. At the end, what he said about him and his stature, and it's just it said what it was about him. I'm like, okay, and I hear people say it was like class. It was. That's how it was back in old YouTube days. Now I always talk about it. That's what kind of like my content is a little bit pre-record wise. And then I come to the realization only select few gets it. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm not upset with it because the people I have in the audience understand. But yeah, man, it is a classroom in a certain degree. If it's a business for the right genre, yes. But I will never say it's not a classroom. It's always been a classroom to me. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and
but
then
y'all go
when you
ahead.
start
Mhm.
off, you don't get, well, not all the time, unless you may be the right color, but you don't always get sponsorship immediately,
Mhm.
But you you create the account and you come for whatever your purpose is, good or bad, and you teach whatever you're teaching, good or bad. If I want
Mhm.
to manipulate, that's my teaching. That's this my classroom. Let me manipulate you, get you feeling some kind of way, to donate your money, send you out to mess up so you come back, and I never give you the answer. I'm gonna keep you here so you can keep donating. You'll never be fixed and manipulate you. And that's a business. That's what that person came to do, manipulate and to gain your money. It's like these some of these courses. Hey, yeah, you know that you get the commercial. Hey, are you willing to take a leap and learn
Hmm.
how to get more money with real estate? Join me, such,
Hmm.
and you buy them classes, and you'll never learn enough to turn a profit. You're just more likely to just give up, like, forget it, this didn't work for me. But they never give you that secret key that they're gonna give you. I have the keys. I got the key. I'll tell you. You never tell you.
Yeah, yeah,
Facts.
that's so true. That is
Because the
so true.
game is sold, not told,
Right, right.
which shows that it's both. The game is sold, not told, which shows that it's a business and a classroom.
Uh-huh.
Because you
Hmm.
learn the game in the classroom, which is the platform. But you got to pay if you want to learn some more. If you want to know what I really know to get on my level, hit the Cash App.
There you go.
Simple. It's simple. And we got to stop fooling ourselves. And just you know what too, Sir O. I noticed
Hmm.
in the audience, what a lot of people don't do, they try to speak for other people instead of speaking for themselves.
Right, right.
YouTube is not a classroom for you. YouTube is entertainment for you.
Hmm.
Stop saying what it is for everybody. Speak for you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't get
because
that. I don't get a lot of that. That's why I changed my
Right.
name there from the just Vice Channel to I Got Questions. Because now I'm at the point I'm going to ask you, what do you mean? Come explain that. Speak for you. I'm with you, sheep. Go on
Hmm.
ahead.
yeah, because like, especially if you're not a content creator, come on. Like, if you're here to listen, which means you're sitting in someone's class. You're not sitting in someone's business. You're sitting in someone's class and you're listening to their curriculum, to their rhetoric. So if you can't tell him that he's not a teacher because you're listening to him, you're not the teacher. You see? So you can't tell a content creator what YouTube is for. You don't make content. You don't know. You support content creators. There's a difference. It's levels. So you only understand up until a certain extent. You're only here for what you're here for. You're not here for what we're here for. You have three content creators here on the panel. All three of us make content and we support content. So we understand the difference.
Hmm.
This is why we don't come in people chat rooms telling them what something is, because we content creators and we understand what this really is about. So what a lot of people, people need to learn chat room etiquette, you know, because what happens is when you get a bunch of people like that talking in your chat room, it becomes a consensus amongst people because these people have the sheep mentality. A lot of these people, not you, Arab Black, but a lot of people have the sheep mentality. So when they constantly see people saying the same thing in the chat, they'll say, "Oh, well, that's what it is." No, it's not.
Hmm.
That's what it is to y'all. And y'all are in the chat. Y'all are not making content. So, I mean, really, come on.
That's facts. And like you said, you got three content creators talk about different things, the similar things really. But Shar does her thing with the news and current events. And I enjoy the Karen stuff, her and Ruby, they always break it down. And that's what they do. I say it a lot down here in Georgia. That ain't nothing new. That's all day here. But it's just like, but when she gets in his stuff about the boy that lost his father at 13, that's very common, especially those type of people in any genre, especially in rap in our culture. And it's sad and it's fucked up that he had to go through that. But it's like, I don't want to say natural selection, what Dre would say, and it's part of it. I mean, we ain't trying to save nobody, but we understand it's one of the symptoms of the world. Like, yeah, it can be fixed. Oh yeah, he can fix it, and certain people fix it, but he has to understand that he ain't by himself. And it's sad that you see it again. Another statistic of a young man that got compromised again. And it's just like, I talk about a lot of things too, like the politics, a little bit of current events and sports, but I put it all together to understand I see a pattern of struggle, in the world. And I look at it from that integral perspective and give people some voice when I do these type of content right here, and then explain and show information and things like that. Now, the reason I do the screenshots for Dre is to examine the mind, why people think this way. And I understand why. It's a constant religion they into, and they don't want to admit it, but they tell on themselves. Now, you do have some people I do shout out in the chat that's positive, correcting them. It's kind of like, I like that. It's a balance there. They ain't just one sided. And that's okay. So there is some people are listening, but they don't agree everything they said. That's cool. But like you said, try to make this thing cool again. And it starts with the chat room first. I don't think it starts with the host. The host, if he gets it right first, then the chat room changes. It goes both ways, but really the chat room, you got to control what you listen to. Then the host may change. You know what I mean? That's how it starts. But yeah. Everybody's content can help each other. But yeah. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that. People do need to vet what they hear, what they listening to, and understand why you're listening to it. When I go and I rock with Ty City and all of them, I go over there and crack jokes. And you be seeing me in the chat, sir. Oh, me and you both be wilding out because to me that's what that space is for. It's entertainment.
That's all it's for.
We're here to talk shit and swallow spit. So I'm not here for nothing else. So when I go in the chat, I'm gonna be on that bullshit.
Same with me with Ramils, and I call his thing like the Coliseum. They be arguing on panels. I say the gates has begun, and I be there throwing much, and I do that on purpose to see where the conversations go. Yeah, if they talk about politics, but if it's gonna go left, I already know the BS is there. But here's the thing: you learn how they speak, why they think this way, and I get it. I get why they think that way. That's all right. It's a belief system. Okay. And then the hosts just don't care. And I've noticed that. And I was like, oh, he don't even care. It is a Coliseum. It's a bloodbath. Okay. Let me roll with this. So
exactly.
That's how I use it. But when we go to places like Wacky and Yours, I listen. Quiet as kept. I don't chat a lot. I just listen. And the reason I do that is to understand the message. And then that helps me out in the day every week. And what it does, I look outside to see the same thing. But if they're doing something positive outside, besides the negative stuff going on, now it's working, But if you're doing something, it works. You got to put it in practice. Most of these dudes can't do that. And I've noticed it's like a religion to them. So I don't know what personal problems they had. It'd be interesting. And that just shows you where the study of people are. So yeah, man, I use everybody's content differently, how I take it in. Even with the entertainment with Kudas, when he talks about the other stuff, I refer to his stuff as like a prophecy, like the propaganda prophecy tropes. Like you gotta get out of his tropes. But I get that's his stick, and I understand that he does a lot of things. And I said to myself, let me use this. I can't be on the third shift no more because I didn't want to take away from my content. And it took me months to understand I don't want to be like that. But I had to study his content. I had to watch his old shit. The reason I shared his old stuff is because to understand what type of host he was. And I said, you know what? I can't be that because that's not my lane. When I was over there, I was kicking knowledge. And I admit that. And I told this straight. That's what I came there to do. It had that tech feel when you want to go to the brain trust route. Okay, we can do this. But the other stuff, you can have that. I just be quiet. And I just dip. And that's what I do. And I treat everybody else similar, but a little different. Same with BGS. If he talks about the politics, so I'll listen until someone starts screaming and yelling. I'm like, all right, I'm out. And same with art. I do everybody similar almost. But with us, I'm gaining something. Yeah, I'm gaining something. Yeah.
Facts. And that usually happens because we know like what you were saying as far as the content creator, how they do stuff. We know what, we know the message behind our channels. We know what we're promoting. Like, see, with Kuda, for instance, what I like about Kuda and a lot of these guys, and I've learned this over the years, is you can't expect nothing different from him. Like,
Facts.
I've always liked Kuda content because he's a DJ. So
Yeah.
I know you're gonna talk about girls. I know you're gonna talk about liquor. I know you're gonna talk about weed. I know you're gonna talk about skateboards and cars and music. You're a DJ. That's all encompassing. I don't want to hear about black pill. I don't want to hear about red pill. I don't want to hear about none of that shit. Stay in your lane. Keep
Same with
play
the
your
same with
music.
the same with the microphones and stuff that you talk about, the gear
Yeah.
stuff. See that right there, I can tolerate that. But that red pill, like you said, black pill, I told him you can't talk like that. You're a DJ. You're in it, but you don't realize you're helping the young man you say you're gonna help. Just help them. Don't listen to old niggas that's trying to for approval. They don't care nothing about you. So I tried to tell him last year, man, like he has that content, like, okay, he's an entertainer, and I get it. So I can't do marathon streams like that. I was like, no, man, that's you.
Mhm.
See, when I did it, it was a build. That's
Right.
what I want from your old stuff, but everybody don't do that but me. But see, what you do it's entertaining. You're gonna talk about the ladies, the girls and stuff, and the drinks and stuff, and the karaoke. You're a DJ, and that's
Exactly.
correct. I mean, that's
Exactly.
just correct, man.
And I
Yeah.
don't and when he start going into other shit, it's like that's where he catch a lot of flack too.
Yeah.
He catch a lot of flack because, like, dog, you don't even need to be partaking in those conversations. I know you a smart dude and you could get on that level, but that's not what this is about. Your channel is what your channel is about, and I think it'll help. It helps men more when you stay in your lane because we know what we coming to get. When I walk in a West Indian restaurant, I'm not here to buy pizza. I'm here to buy jerk chicken.
Right.
So like when he starts going into the manosphere stuff, it's like, dog, for what? You're a DJ, bro. You're actually living the life that these guys are portraying online around
Right.
girls. You talk to women, dog. You're outside. You like you what you're doing is you just creating a bunch of confusion for nothing for yourself. And then that make dudes, pass judgment on you for no reason. When all you gotta do is just keep doing what you're doing. Because that actually helps guys. Now, when you start talking about mics and all of that stuff, that ties into what you do. Kuda, you're a DJ. You talk on a goddamn mic. So everything that he's doing, it lines up until he want to get on that manosphere shit. And that's the shit it's like it's not working. And what a lot of brothers need to understand is you don't have to talk about men and be in the manosphere. My channel has been a man channel since the inception of it. I've always spoke about brotherhood. What actually drove me to this space is a pro-black woman who saw that my channel was being suppressed in the conscious community because I was preaching brotherhood. So she introduced me to the manosphere. Why don't you watch this guy? And the first person she put me on to was Angry Man and BGS. She said, these guys, they promoting the same thing as you. I think you'll be better over here. Because at this time when I was in dealing with the conscious community, that is when the upheaval started over there back in 2016, 2017. That's when all the real BS started with Light and Saw Satan and all those other guys. So
Right.
that's how I even got introduced to this space, because my channel was always about men. So what a lot of brothers need to understand is, man, that manosphere shit is dead. Just keep talking to the men who want to hear you speak to them. That's it.
Facts. There you go. See, right there, what you just said. I was trying to say that to him last year. He has an excellent channel to go there. Like, you got the numbers. All you need to do is just Stay in that little spot. You're gonna get noticed. Like, damn everybody else. But the good thing
Yeah.
about it is, like, my child try to tell him, I can't be you. I understand you're a DJ. I understand you're the music guy. So you got the talent. See, Kuda, my thing is I could speak like in a public classroom. I could be what you call a motivational speaker. Yeah, I have the voice. I've stood up in front of a crowd before in college. That ain't nothing. That was years ago. I was in front of people just advertising and doing things like that. It's so simple to do. The reason I got a microphone is just for learning about broadcasting and podcasting a little bit. It's more to it, and it takes work. And voice acting is a big space online and offline. So when you help somebody out with something, you can turn this into a job. This is just a platform for me to start out. And I always done good content on the political content. I just don't go in depth like I used to. I just be very careful because people are so sensitive about certain things because I'll go extreme with it. But I understand the times we live in. Now, I get away from the typical ideologies like the conservative and liberal. That's surface talk. I go for ones that needs to be talked about. When you hear other guys from that Igmore clan, they say words like utilitarianism and things like that, and then try to conflate the two of its meanings all the time. This is what they love to do. And then I do the research on it. And that's the reason I use that black pill picture. Yes, I was trolling them, but I was trying to be intellectually trolling them at the same time. But they will never hit that link. They'll never hit that link because I always bring my facts and my information. If I had books on it, they still get killed on that. But it's just what it is. But you have a lot of yes men. It's like religion. You can't get mad at the yes men. And I learned this too because this is who they are. They are sheep. It's sad, but it's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw what Kuda was doing. I'm like, he's trying to be friends with everyone and agree with everyone. You can't do that. If you disagree, just stand on your square and like, no, man, I'm not really feeling that. But okay, well, come on over and support me. I don't have no problem with that. And move the conversation on. You don't have to just, yeah, you right. Yeah, you right. You right. You right. You right. All that. You don't have to do all of that. And that's what killed his platform is and also some takeovers too. But
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I wish
Yeah.
him
I
the
know about
best,
that.
whatever he
Yeah.
plans to do in the future.
Yeah. And it's a lot of things. What's going on, Jason? Salute, salute. That's what killed this platform. But it ain't just him. It's a lot of people I've noticed. I see why. And then I try to tell them, well, the reason my channel is the way it is, it's not for everyone. If the people that like it, I let them. If they ask me a question to come, like I said, shouts out to Shannon B. He gave me a good question on that stream that I did, and I felt like we got to get away from those conversations and keep it where it's at, and then we help them on an integral level with the kids coming through when they get older and listen to these spaces. I'm looking at for them the select few that's going to get it, not the ones that's brainwashed. But I look at this like, how can you save young men? You talk about that stuff. That stuff is not conducive nowadays. They already told you they're done with it. That goes for male and female. And the women said, nah, my sons are not listening to this. Or BMT said that. That's great. You just gotta keep at it. But the child has to be responsible if he wants to listen to it or not. See, you did your part as a parent. Now you gotta let him do his part. So it's like a give and take. You did your best. You still gotta let him fall down a little bit and he'll learn. That's how my parents let me. They make sure you need to notice. And they always told me you got to be careful what you listen to. Even my father tells me to this day, you just got to look at people like that. Always questions things. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't care if it's a dumb one or a hard one. But if you find the answer, put two and two together. That's what he always told me. But yeah, and I'm glad he wrote that comment. So I put this in the stream because that kind of touched the nerve. And I said, you know what? Let me address this on the stream. Because this way we'll see where their minds are. So shouts out to Shannon B again, man. That right there set the tone of the stream. So, but yeah. So what did Eric Black said? He said, so it can be anything to anyone. Use your own imagination, but put your own work. It's all about where you wanted to take it. Yeah, that's a fair point. Some people are like that, but but you got individuals like she said, like their channels get destroyed, and certain individuals did it. And then we talked on the back end. Me and Drake talked about it, and it's a lot of things. And he says like the conscious community, yeah, it is. But the thing is, I seen the conscious community came and went. Now they're in turmoil. They fighting each other over silly stuff. Well, I'm gonna steal this trademark and all that. All right, all right. Shit. All right. You wasting your time. I already know what that shit's about. You're hurting yourself, lady. Stop it. It's done by design,
I'm glad you said that, bro, because what people don't understand is, and it's sad, but a lot of our people, and this is with anybody, but when it's like when you don't have an adversary, you begin to eat each other. And that's what happened. That's what happened in the conscious community. That's what's happening over here in the manosphere. Shout out to Jay Sean too. I see you, bro. But what's happening is being that the blame, shame, and explain about women is beginning to be obsolete. This is why you see the men devouring each other.
Can you explain what that is? The shame, blame. I understand shame and not sure about the rest.
Blame and explain. It's like you can't shame women from doing things like it could be sexual acts or non-sexual acts. Like you can't blame them for being who they are. Like just typical stuff.
It's with
like
women. So shaming and blaming the women. And
and then trying to explain why you're shaming and blaming them. Being that that's becoming null and void with the insurgence of these women's platforms and the numbers and the money that they're bringing around, that's becoming obsolete. That's becoming obsolete. So now this is why the men are eating each other, which shows no brotherhood.
Goodness. Isn't that so? I never knew what that meant because I only heard it with Ramil, and I don't really, but anyway, I didn't know what it meant, and that I had no idea was against the
Ty City is actually his talking point. Ramil heard him say it, and they made a thing out of it last year. That's why he sold his channel. But he did troll the people. But I predicted he was gonna get 7,000 last year. He was listening to me. And then that shit went overboard. Now he was listening to me and Dre Sarun the whole time from the clouds, like they always do. And then they do another stream in the morning, like they always do now. And he came back. It's the same concept. He is pissing off the Igmore clan, technically, because they like to do this all the time. So they support the SBE entertainment. This is what they love. And they try to say, we need a nigger channel. No, y'all love entertainment. Stop it. Like the way y'all came at Pastor, I understand it. I know Art said what he said, and I'm glad they kind of know where they stand at. But look, just be honest, man. If y'all don't like each other and disagree, that's cool. I know both of y'all are my minds over here, but I'm just saying, shaking my head, like we get it. But I've seen this too many times. Like what she said, they eat each other. Like this is why I don't really see the village. We don't care. We spectate on the drama, but we understand where the symptoms are. But we can't help you. We can't help you over here. We can't do that. It's not in our playbook. We don't help people that don't want to be helped. I tried that shit 2 years ago, and I gave them solutions. I told them it was that simple. It's just you gotta learn to adapt. No, I don't want to adapt. I'm gonna complain about these women. Okay.
Hey, the testosterone is a hell of a drug. I say that all the time. Sure, you say one thing with your mouth, but testosterone will drive you to do something else.
Oh yeah.
Especially when she all cooked up on camera.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm enjoying the conversation. Hope to have another one like this in the future.
Most definitely.
I got some stuff to do soon, even though it's 4 hours, whatever. I still got some me stuff to do. And I'll leave you, sir, with thanking you for allowing me on your show.
Not a problem.
Hope to see you soon whenever you stream again. And hope to see you tonight. I'm doing another test stream.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Oh, okay. And it'll be 9:30. And yeah. And I'll see you later, Sheep. Talk to you soon.
Oh yeah. See you later.
All right.
See you when you go live. But yeah, bro. Definitely, I definitely appreciate you, bro. Letting me up, man, and always having a solid conversation, man. As men, a lot of us sit around here and talk about the problems, the problems, the problems, the problems, but we still haven't figured out as a group of men how to properly communicate the problems and communicate the solutions. So
Mhm.
there's a lot of little things that we need to fix
Yeah.
amongst each other as men, and we really need to, as black men, we really need to figure out what it is we really want as a group of men. See, we gotta see the rugged individualism talk was taught to us.
Right.
You don't hear white men talking about, oh, that's them over there. No, it's us. What they're doing over there is a problem because it's affecting what we're doing. This is how other men communicate with each other. This is how other men fix problems amongst themselves. But it seems like black men, when it's time to talk about solutions and it's time to fix some shit, now it's we're all by ourselves. Now it's
Mhm.
about what we want to do as individuals. But we can come together and talk about women all day. See, that's why I don't want to hear that. And I don't subscribe to that. That's bullshit. Because we could come together 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1,000 men deep in a chat room to talk about a woman. But when it's time to fix some shit between us, you on your own, homie. Oh, that's your own problem. Oh, that's your personal
Mhm.
problem. Oh,
Mhm.
but your problems with women ain't your personal problem. It's for everybody. Cut it out. Cut it out. We gotta stop that shit. That's cap. And I'm gonna keep calling that shit out. Cause you'll get up here, you'll jump in the chat room and talk crazy about black women all goddamn day. It's thousands of niggas in here. But then when it's time to talk about what black men need to do for each other, now we all disperse and go home and try to figure it out. What?
Mhm.
So we only come together to talk about these hoes. But outside of that, you're on your own. That's some simp shit.
Mhm.
That's simp shit. We band together when it got something to do with some vagina and the problems that come with it. But when it's time to fix the problems that black men have, now you're on your own.
Yep.
Explain that.
Uh,
Explain that. Explain those actions. Because we need to come together to stop feminism, right? But why can't we come together to stop the joblessness issue between black men? Why can't we come together to stop the homelessness issue between black men? Oh, we on our own. Oh, we on our own. So let us be on our own when it's time to deal with women. Come on, man.
y-
But shout out
Yeah.
to you, bro. I appreciate you for letting me up, man.
Not a problem, man.
You already know. Peace.
All right. Peace. Well, y'all heard it, man. Like he said, yeah. With those issues, that's the whole title. Like, is it a religion or not? I'm just saying, like, in so many words, it's been 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 56 seconds. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. It is what it is. It's actually our priority backwards. Yeah. And it's just what it is, man. Like, that's the whole point of this topic. And I felt like I did this today, and shouts out to Shar and everybody that came through. And She Stay Sleep TV, known as DS1. Y'all check their channels out and subscribe. And if y'all are new or coming through. But like I said, man, it's a great discussion. And we talked about it like these churches, man. Like, is it like a religion, man? Like, we got to understand something here. That's one of the things that we hear that we're talking about, like, because that's what we're here for. But well, since it's been 2 hours, I won't cut this short. Appreciate y'all for the conversation. It's been a good stream. It's no need to make this 3 hours or a marathon. So, that's all I have to say. But a shout out to everybody that came through. I'm gonna give some shouts. What's going on, Wolf, Sick Diggy, and others. Eric Black, appreciate you coming in for the great conversations in the chat room, the panels. Appreciate for Shar. Y'all check her out tonight. And who else come through? Who else come through? Yeah, because I'm gonna cut it short because I got things to do myself. Let's see who came through. Shouts out to Jay Sean. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for stopping by. Always a pleasure. Shouts out to the captain again. Y'all subscribe to the captain now. Y'all subscribe to him. All hail Gray Skull in the building of 1,000 ghosts. Y'all subscribe to him. Who else came through? Because I gotta get going. I'm gonna be outside for a minute or two. Probably 2 hours. And shouts out to Shannon B. Shouts out to him, for a great conversation and that comment he sent on the video. Shouts out to you, man. Appreciate you. And Matt McKee, appreciate you always coming. You're always loyal, man. Yeah, I'll see about you in the future. Sincerely yours, Nadia. Feel it in my shoulders in the building. Appreciate you. Always the support. Always in the support. And who else came through? The legendary Wacky World. Oh, appreciate you coming through, man. Always supporting. Y'all subscribe to this brother right here. He's got good content. And he's always outside in the basketball game. Shouts to him. Number one grind. Appreciate you. Long time no see, man. Appreciate you, man. Always. Yes. Thank you. Appreciate you, man. And that's all I got, folks, man. Like, it's another great conversation. And so with that, yeah, she tried to tell y'all come through. Yeah. So with that, all I'm going to say is peace and blessings in the name of the Most High and shalom. All I got to say is, oh, hell, Gray Skull. I'm out.